Hello everyone and welcome back to BrokeN Boys. This is episode 127. I am Mike.
I'm Colin.
And yeah, you ever get like deja vu?
Yeah, I do actually quite often.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting one of those moments right now.
I am too.
Yeah. What are you feeling?
I don't know, I feel like I had a dream where we did this whole episode like 2 days ago. But like that can't be.
Like the dream was 2 days ago, or in the dream it was 2 days ago.
In the dream it was like Friday night around 9:30 maybe.
Yeah. Well, that's weird because right now it's like Sunday around 9.
Yeah, it is weird.
Wait, don't we? We usually record on Fridays. Why did we? Huh. That's strange.
Huh. Yeah, Who am I?
Well, currently it looks like you're Cillian Murphy on Hot Ones.
Or the quests are hot, or the wings are hot, but the quests are even hotter.
Yeah, that one with Seth Everman, my favorite bald man.
And you look like Howard pre
2004 or something.
Yeah, pre Lalo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
BL before Lalo.
Yeah, I guess that's something we also should have addressed. So for those of you who are confused, that's not actually me and Colin. We're on Discord right now.
Yeah.
Our traveling roadshow has gone virtual.
Yeah. So we could be anywhere. We could be anywhere right now.
We could be anywhere. We could be anyone. We could be with anywho.
Yeah. Like I'm actually with Cillian Murphy right now.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, he's telling me all about his time on the set of Oppenheimer.
Oh my god! Are we gonna get like an exclusive BrokeN Boys interview or like?
He's a little camera shy. So.
Isn't he like the lead actor in the biggest movie right now?
Yeah. Don't say the biggest. He's a little upset that Barbie just made him billion.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Oppenheimer's doing great, Cillian. It's made like 500 million or something like that. So I mean, you're still up there.
Yeah.
He's pouting now that you said that. Actually,
oh, he's pouting. Okay, well.
Now he really won't talk.
Oh shit! Damn, I wanted to ask him about some Peaky Blinders stuff, but
yeah. He actually is very sore about Peaky Blinders.
Is he now?
Yeah, he's kind of upset that he had to play a British man and couldn't be Irish. So.
Yeah, the Irish were actually kind of the bad guys for a lot of that show.
Yeah, which I'm sure that caused a little bit of animosity with him. But he was getting paid the Netflix money, so.
Very true. Very true.
Which apparently is nothing. So.
Netflix money is nothing.
Yeah, apparently, because nobody's getting paid for residuals or anything. So.
Oh yes, yeah. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. And like I'm with Cillian Murphy, but Mike, he's like in a factory or something with that background noise.
Yeah. So that's part of the reason why we couldn't record on Friday, and definitely did not record on Friday. Is because I've been relocated to my home is like an industrial Chicago factory right now. It's just a shoe factory. It's kind of like a Jumanji.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So a bunch of like Air Jordans and like Yeezys and stuff around me.
Would you say it's maybe? Is there also like a chocolate factory portion? Are you maybe with Timothy Chalamet?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought we could back up celebrities.
I mean, it's Jumanji. Maybe Robin Williams is here somewhere.
Yeah, the skeleton of Robin Williams.
Skeleton?
He's dead. Mike.
What?
Robin Williams died like 10 years ago.
And you're just now telling me this?
I thought you knew, to be honest. But I guess you don't watch many movies.
This really is like Jumanji when he finds out his dad is dead.
Yeah, what year is it, you know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. What year is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, it could also be a tie-in to like that biopic Air that came out about like the Air Jordans.
It could be if I knew anything about Michael Jordan.
I mean, you don't. I mean, it's about the shoes more. So I mean,
well, that goes to show my knowledge.
Yeah. You can hang out with Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Viola Davis.
Yeah. Perfect.
I didn't watch the movie, but I heard pretty good things about it.
Yep. As you can tell, I know a lot about that movie. So
yeah,
if you ever have any questions, hit me up. Not now, but maybe later.
Favorite movie of the year, though, right?
What's that?
Favorite movie of the year, you think?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, anyways, how was your week, man? I have no idea what you've been up to.
Hey, man. It's been pretty shit, you know?
Oh.
I moved back down here. Back down to the college town. The boys are back in college town. Very homesick. Don't want to be here. But, here I am. And haven't been doing much. Read a bunch of Oppenheimer. Yeah, Killian. I read a bunch of Oppenheimer, like you.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm talking to Killian. And
yeah, of course.
And I've been watching a lot of Game Grumps. I'm in a bit of a Game Grumps era right now. They've been helping me a little bit because they're a comfort. I play a little bit of Hades, that roguelike game that I've never told you about and we've never talked about prior.
Never. Yeah, that game's kind of like Binding of Isaac, right?
A little bit. Yeah. It's
yeah, I know that. I know that from my own knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. You like die and then you have to start all the way at the beginning and everything. I beat Hades for the first time. That was pretty cool.
That sounds like. Is that the end of the game?
Yeah, but like not really, because like you have to like go back and do it again, because like your character Zagreus is like he's bound to the underworld, so he can't really leave without dying when he comes back.
Gotcha.
And like he escaped hell to like meet Persephone, his mother, and he was like, fuck, I died again, so now I have to do that all over again. So yeah, I don't know if I'll play it over and over again like I was, but we'll see. Hades 2 comes out at some point, so I'll play that when it comes out. Did that. Played a little bit of Red Dead 2 again. Just having a wee bit of fun. At least trying to, because fucking the gas station sacked me.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you because I wasn't. You didn't mention anything about working a shift.
Yeah. Fucking, I got back and I fucking asked one of my managers and they were like, "You should have gotten an email last week," and I was like, "Oh, why?" And then I looked.
An email that you got sacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't get a text or a phone call from anybody or anything. Just got an email. I was like, all right.
Breaking up via email.
Yeah. Fucking 1995 style. But that was fun. So I've been applying a bunch. Had a little interview at the most authentic Mexican place around, Chipotle.
Yes, right under the authenticity level of Taco Bell. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and that's definitely not a joke you've made before.
Absolutely not. It's kind of weird that we keep saying sentences like that. I don't know what that's about, but
yeah, I have no fucking idea.
It's just the deja vu. It's the deja vu.
Yeah, deja vu.
Yeah.
Like all right.
Yeah, I get deja vu when I'm with you.
Except you're not with me.
I mean,
right now.
In spirit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know who is with me though?
Oh yeah, Cillian Murphy. Yeah. Robin Williams is with me quite literally in spirit too. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, but that happened. That was fun. Fun part of the week. So being laying around, being bored all week has not helped my homesickness at all.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it fucking blows. But here I am, and here you are, and here's Cillian. He won't say anything still, but he's here.
Is he still pouting?
Yeah, he's still upset that he brought up Peaky Blinders. Because he can't talk about any of his work right now because of the strike.
Oh, okay.
And that's kind of why he can't talk right now, because he wanted to talk about his work, but he can't talk about anything on on a big podcast such as ours.
So he just pouts because he's so sad about not being able to talk.
Yeah. Like he can talk, and we have like deep conversations. Like I look into his fucking piercing blue eyes.
Yeah.
And I ask about, hey, what was playing Scarecrow like that one time? And he goes, toity, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, it would pour me a Guinness.
Yeah. That's classic Cillian.
Yeah. He's a super nice guy, though. And maybe you'll get to meet him one time. But
maybe.
Well, he kind of just appeared here, so we'll see.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like magically, or like just kind of like showed up at your door?
Yeah, you know how like you rub a lamp and a genie comes out of it? Yeah, I rubbed the Oppenheimer book and Cillian Murphy came out of it.
Gotcha. So he's kind of like Tom Riddle in that sense.
Yeah. My copy of American Prometheus is one of his Horcruxes.
It's like Cillian's Horcruxes. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, but he's like not evil at all, like Tom Riddle.
Yeah.
He's quite the nice gentleman.
But to make a Horcrux, don't you have to take a life?
I mean, he took tens of thousands in Oppenheimer, did he not?
Oh, that's true. That's a lot of Horcruxes.
Yeah. And he also killed a bunch of people in Peaky Blinders, I assume. So.
Well, yeah, but it's a Nolan movie, so they had to actually do the deaths for Oppenheimer.
Yeah, so. Yeah. He doesn't use fucking
CGI,
visual effects or CGI.
And even events that happen off screen, they still he makes sure they happen so that the actors can feel the impact of that.
Yeah. They had to get the actual. They gaslit all of the actors into thinking they were actually in a war right now. And they were actually excited when Truman said that they killed a bunch of Japanese people.
Yeah.
But then he had those visions in that auditorium that one time. He doesn't like to talk about that.
Yeah, that was unscripted.
That was like an actual charred body he stepped into.
Yeah.
Spoilers. But what was I talking about? My week?
Getting sacked, staring into Cillian's eyes. I don't remember how we got to that point.
I watched the first episode of Peaky Blinders earlier this week. Yeah, prior to him arriving, because I knew he wouldn't want to watch it. But it was pretty good. I think I've watched it before.
The first episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, this is pretty good. It's I mean, it's not super fun so far, but maybe I'll have more fun if I watch more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's that happened. I listened to a couple albums. I listened to Kid A by Radiohead, which was great. Very haunting, ethereal. I love the weird production and all the electronics. Tom's vocals were great. And then I listened to Pony by Orville Peck.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of Orville Peck, Mike?
I have. But
Really?
I only really know him by name. I think he's like from what I've heard, kind of like a country artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bit of a country artist. He's got a nice deep serenading voice.
Ooh.
Yeah, he actually has a pretty good range. Actually, he gets up there sometimes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and like it's like a nice country album. My sister wanted me to check it out, so I was like, all right, I don't know. And I did that, and it was a pretty good time. Some of it was kind of samey, and I didn't like pay attention. It didn't catch my attention for some of the songs, but for bigger songs on it, I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a country boy, but neither is he, because he's not from this country.
Yeah. Where is he from?
He's from South Africa.
Ah.
So he's from the South, but not like our South.
Yeah. That's very South.
Yeah. He's from the land of Elon Musk and
of course.
apartheid.
I think that's where the Uncut Gems gem was too, South Africa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't watched that movie in a long time.
Me neither.
It's good though. But yeah, those songs were pretty good. That's pretty much my week. But how was your week, Mike?
My week was pretty good. It was mostly just continuing to do band stuff, marching band with the high schoolers. Last week was Monday through Thursday, and then this week was Monday through Friday. So we had an extra day of pain in there. And also last week was like extremely hot, like in the 90s and everything. And this week, since it was upper 80s, it wasn't as hot, but we also went outside more because it was safe to. So technically, I got more sun this week than I did last week, but it was. Was that?
Did you get a nice tan on?
A red tan, yeah. Yeah, it's the new thing. It was going pretty well though. Working with the kids and everything was good. I feel like we all kind of warmed up to each other last week, and then this week I could do more stuff like messing with them a little bit with sarcasm, or like there was one point because we're working on memorization and movements 1 and 2. I actually did like a little gauge, and it was like scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the easiest thing you've ever played, or elementary level music is how I described it, or 10 being the hardest thing you've played. Where would you rate movement 1? And they said like about a 4. And then for movement 2, they said about a 3. And I never got to ask them about movement 3, but if I did, it would probably be around like a 7 or so. So it's like it's a pretty stark jumping thing. But we were working on memorization, and at one point after they did their warm up, I had them turn all their stands around, and then I put my arms up. It's like, all right, we're gonna do movement 3 memorized. And there was like a little bit of like a gasp of horror in there, and I was like, just kidding. Because we had barely done any work on it. But just getting to do some fun things like that, mess with them a little bit, have some fun. But it was generally pretty good. Said our goodbyes on Friday. Did our last day there, and I kind of told him, I was like, well, I don't know where my life is going to be in a year, but if I'm still here and I'm available, then I'll come back, pretty much is what I said. Which I think is kind of what I told him last year tit was little bittersweet, but it was a good time though, and I got to work with my buddy from our school, our college that we went to. He was working with the saxophones, and he's gonna be student teaching there in the fall and all that. So got to work with him. So could sometimes, actually, a lot of the techs, which is my position, the adults or whatever who were in charge of the instruments, instrument families. There was a time when we kind of were all in a circle and we're just like talking about the band, just being like, things are not like 100% great here. Sometimes having to do with the director, sometimes with, the enthusiasm from the kids and stuff like that. But my group was generally pretty good, the clarinets. So
Yeah.
I got a little luckier than others. Saxes were actually doing very good too. So
Yeah.
in case you were wondering where
Represent.
where your legacy from 5 marching seasons ago has gone.
Yeah, my legacy of symphonic.
Exactly. But yeah, it was pretty good. I could do have some fun times there. So now I'm just been yesterday I helped my neighbors with a TV that they got. So they needed my mom's van in order to fit it. So I drove the van with their oldest brother up to Schaumburg. Which is a pretty beefy drive. What was that?
Where Eddie Burbeck is from, I think.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Huh.
Him and Shane Madej from Watcher, if you know what Watcher is.
I have no idea what Watcher is.
They did like the old BuzzFeed Unsolved kind of stuff.
Oh, maybe I'd recognize his face.
Yeah, but they have like their own channel where they do like a Ghost Files show where they go to haunted places and they got like puppet history and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, they're a fun channel.
Huh. Well, Schaumburg is a nice area from what I saw from it, but yeah, got a TV from there. Helped them set it up because it's just Daniel and his brother that are home, so they needed. It was a big TV that they got, so I was very nervous moving that thing around, but you know what? It didn't break.
Great.
Yeah, but that was kind of my day yesterday, and other than that, like throughout the week, just been playing some GeoGuessr still with my friends.
Right.
My friend Vanessa, she's been working on like a website for our stuff, so like you can see the averages of our times. I think is actually, I'm not sure if that's there yet, but she's working on getting it so that you can see the average time that it takes for us to guess where we are in GeoGuessr. And then also has stats from like our longest round, our shortest round, and just like stats on every single round, and you can like click the link to go to the game and see how close we were and all that kind of stuff. Still have never lost, legitimately.
I sense some wavering in that voice, Mike. I feel like you're lying.
The legitimately was the key word there. Over this last week, there was a Uganda game where we were in the middle of nowhere, Uganda, and we found like it was just like a bunch of dirt paths. It was like a walking trail almost. It looked like or something. We were legit seeing like elephants and like like wild elephants like alongside the road, and Vanessa had an elephant phase when she was younger, and we knew about that because we're childhood friends. And she was like, if we can find the elephants, I may be able to locate what part of Africa we're in. So that actually kind of came in clutch. Yeah. I forgot about those elephants. Yeah, they were like legit like tusked elephants just like alongside the road staring at the Google car. I was like, oh my god. Anyways, but yeah, we were middle of nowhere. We found an airport after traveling for a long distance, and then we found the airport in the actual map, and then we traced it back, and the roads within Google Maps were not mapped correctly. So like there were quite literally roads that were missing near spawn to us. So like it was almost impossible to like actually pinpoint where we were. Like we found the right area, we were in the right area, but our road did exist, but we had no way of knowing that until the round was over. Because I was thinking, okay, our street just straight up just doesn't exist. It's not on the map. It's not really a street. Like I said, it was literally tire marks in the dirt. Um, um, so that one we technically lost, quote unquote, but it doesn't count. And then I don't this. Or what am I talking about? We didn't talk on Friday, so you couldn't have known about this.
Yeah, I haven't talked to you in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, I think it was on Friday, maybe it was Saturday. We had Natalie playing with us as well, and we got another BS game where we figured out we were in Brazil, which is kind of a bad country to figure out that you're in, but you can't do anything about it. Oh, I should describe what the issue was. We were basically just on one road that stretched maybe half a mile or so, and it just didn't let you go any further than that either direction. So, like, we were quite literally shit out of luck. It was just middle of nowhere. Like, there was some language that we could tell was Portuguese, so then we knew it was Brazil. But yeah, we spent a long time trying to search for that one because we had 4 guesses. So we did, just for shits and giggles, we did like a big circle in Brazil, and it was green, and we're like, oh, okay, it's within that circle. Then we did a little smaller one, and it was in that circle, and then we did a smaller one than that, and it was still in that circle. So then, because we had narrowed it down so much, we were trying our best to find this road, but it just straight up didn't happen. But because the game itself was glitched, it's another disqualification. There's nothing we could have done. But so other than those 2 caveats, 100% win rate.
So with the Uganda one, you could say that you guys didn't know Dewey.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, I was nervous you wouldn't like that one. So
No, I'm really proud of you for coming up with that one.
thank you so much.
Of course, anytime.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
Killian got a kick out of that one too.
Oh, did he? Is he like silently laughing to himself over there?
Yeah, he's kind of like sitting to my right. He's just like he's crisscross on the floor.
Oh.
He's just kind of staring at me with those piercing blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because I'm holding a knife over his Horcrux, so
So you're in the position of power here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not in like a weird way.
So are you like preventing him from like going back into his book?
Yeah, kind of. I just I have more questions for him, and I don't want him to lose it.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, and I mean, there's been so many of these books sold that like, what are the odds that mine was the Horcrux?
Yeah. Book number 10,053.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those sales have only been going up since that movie came out.
That's
so
true. You got the golden ticket,
I did. Much like you did for that chocolate factory you're sitting in right now.
Shoe factory.
Fuck, sorry, shit,
Yeah.
fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, is that what you did this week? That was it?
I think so. I don't know. I can't remember back to this week. I think that's pretty much everything I did. Yeah, it was just marching band and GeoGuessr on loop. Yep, pretty much. There was I had one good like teaching moment on Friday where because most of the time I was stumbling and kind of doing my best as a teacher, even though I don't know a single thing about education and all that.
Right.
Just basically doing the things that I was taught from my clarinet professor, or from my band director in college, or whatever. Just using their tactics on these kids to see if it helps them work more, or not work more, to understand the music a little bit better. But I have one good teaching moment, and basically on Friday I opened up with with a video of a piece that I played in the top band like 5 months ago. It was a recording of our concert, and it's like it opens, the third movement of this piece opens up with like a really complex clarinet line. It's just like like it's just like really fast, really tongued. It's kind of got some odd rhythms in there somewhat, but just like really precise and really articulate. And I basically played that for them, and I was like, "What do you guys notice about that? What do you notice?" And pretty quickly, I mean, like they're like, "Oh, that sounds hard" or whatever. I heard a few times, but pretty quickly, one of the kids was like, "It all sounds like one clarinet is playing." I'm like, "Yes, bingo. That's exactly what I was going for. It sounds like one clarinet that's playing." I said, "How many do you think are playing?" And then they overestimated. They thought it was like 25 or 40 of them. And I was like, "Well, there's actually 7." But the important part is that they still sound like one clarinet in there. And I was like, "Who do you think is part of that 7?" They're like, "Oh, you?" Like, yeah. Then everyone clapped. No, that didn't happen. But I did was like, yeah, I was part of that. I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. So basically, subliminally saying, I know what I'm talking about. I know I can play this instrument. But yeah, I like just kind of played it for them over and over again, just like this is, it all sounds like one clarinet. Listen, how everyone's tone is exactly the same, even though I had them try and guess the time signature, which no one exactly got because it was in 5/2. That's the time signature. Yeah, it's great. They got kind of close, but. But anyways, like, just had him listening to it and listening to how everyone sounded like one clarinet, even though there were 7 of them, and then just kind of planted that seed of, even though this is the like high collegiate level that I was playing at, that's kind of what you should strive to sound like. It's to sound like one person. Even though it's not realistic that you will get 100% to that sound right now, that should be the goal.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I did that, when they were like playing their warm-ups and just tuning and everything, it just sounded like so much better, like instantly. And I was like, I should have done this sooner. Like, I was like,
been the best section leader on the planet.
That's true, dude. If I did that like at the beginning of this week, oh man, this week would have been great. I mean, this week was still pretty good, but like their sound would have been a lot more consistent.
I would have actually enjoyed myself.
I know, yeah. But yeah, I asked them, I was like, "Do you hear a difference in your sound?" And they're like, "Kind of." And I'm like, "Well, you're doing it, so keep doing what you're doing." I hear a stark difference. But yeah, like, teaching isn't really my passion or anything like that, but having a good moment where I actually did something kind of good, I was like, "Hey, go me."
Oh yeah.
And,
is graphic design your passion?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Didn't you see the very professional album cover to Coping Mechanism?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's not really that wasn't really graphic design. Well, actually, getting the text down there was graphic design. There was a few moments when the font I chose looked like graphic design is my passion, but
I still think you should comic sing.
Yeah, I probably should have. You're right. Yeah,
would have been eye-catching.
Yeah, that would have made people take me more seriously.
Except with a fucking Times New Roman.
That I did?
Yeah.
I don't remember what the actual font was. I could probably find the Photoshop file somewhere, but I'll get back to you.
All right.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's my week. Nothing really too eventful. Same thing. Yeah.
Random question, Mike.
Of course.
How do you feel about Twizzlers?
I like Twizzlers. I know that for some people that's a controversial take. I've heard a lot of people say it tastes like plastic. I don't know. I mean, that's what my family always grew up eating, and the couple times I've had Red Vines, I actually didn't really like them. So.
Oh. See, I'm chomping on some Twizzlers right now.
That's respectable.
They were one of my favorite childhood candies. Mm-hmm. And then the other day I was scrolling through TikTok. I see Seth Rogen and Ice Cube did a fucking interview for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. It was one of those videos where like they were like, "These are our favorite snacks." Mm-hmm. and Ice Cube had red vines. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But then he goes, Twizzler eaters, kill yourself.
He said that during the promotion for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
They didn't edit it out or anything. And, you know, the sad former guest of the podcast.
Former friend of the pod, yeah.
Yeah. You know, he's just, you know. But, you know, I felt personally attacked by that. And I just wanted to see if I was the only Twizzler lover on the podcast. But it seems like we're in this together, Mike.
I do like Twizzlers. Yeah, Twizzlers get a lot of hate, and I don't think they deserve it.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
They're a little plasticky, but, like, I like that.
I can see the complaint of the plasticky, but the taste, I think, is good. It doesn't taste like plastic, but the texture is slightly plasticky.
Yeah. And, like, what's more satisfying than chewing out a bunch of plastic?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, I did see a clip from that interview, a different one where I think Seth Rogen brought in like ketchup chips, like it was like Lay's ketchup chips or something like that, and Ice Cube was like baffled at them, like no, that's so bad, and Seth is just like, bro, it's literally ketchup and fried potatoes, like that's the number one like thing you put on fried potatoes is ketchup. and that made me even think like, oh yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know why Americans are so disgusted by this.
But Ice Cube, fight me. How about that?
Yeah. Maybe that's gotta be our next guest on the pod.
I'll fight Ice Cube.
Mm-hmm.
He's old.
Yeah, just get like a hair dryer.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I was thinking like sick Killian on him or something, but
stick Killian on him, you said?
Yeah, sick. You like go boy, attack.
Oh yeah.
Or I'll stab your Horcrux.
That's true. You do kind of have him by the balls right now.
Yeah. Figuratively and literally.
Oh.
We've become quite close.
I would hope so. All right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Music news wise, the whole Lizzo thing happened.
The whole Lizzo thing did happen.
Yeah, the whole drama with her. That's fun. Fucking seems like a real piece of shit. And her dance instructor also seems like a real piece of shit. Not fun for her backup dancers, but also that her backup dancers or people that worked with her that are suing her fucking went on TMZ for an interview. Mm-hmm. So and like I saw like a transcript that was like the TMZ person was like, so did Lizzo actually like talk to you like this and say things such as this? And the transcript was like, well, it always felt like that in our minds. What was going on.
Mm.
Ooh, well,
beautiful.
That's not great.
No.
But you know, Lizzo hired the lawyer who took care of like the Bill Cosby case, the Johnny Depp case.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of shining, definitely not guilty people.
Yeah. He's got a real good track record.
Yes. Yeah, that was a fun little moment. And then there was like the something. What happened with O-Rod, Mike? What was that?
She released the album track list for Guts.
Yes.
Yeah, and we definitely haven't done this before, where we just take a look at the track list and just kind of talk about it. But some of these song titles they feel to me like if someone were to parody Olivia Rodrigo, these are the song titles they would use. You got some stuff like All American Bitch. You got Bad Idea, right?
Ballad of a Homeschool Girl.
Yeah, Making the Bed. That one in particular sounds like an O-Rod parody. Making the Bed. Get him back! Exclamation point. Pretty isn't pretty. I mean, I guess that one could. I don't know. That one's not as bad as some of the others.
Yeah.
The Grudge, maybe slightly, and then Teenage Dream. You know, it. She's definitely still. Oh, sorry. What's up?
What if Teenage Dream is just a cover of Katy Perry's
It
song?
might be. What if it's just like a really like pop punk version of it?
Oh God.
Yeah.
I could tell the lyrics of Making the Bed, though. You know, it's probably gonna have something to do with like fucking. I'm making the bed that we once laid on together and
probably
stuff like that.
Yeah, we once fucked on this bed. Now I'm making
it.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. You know, you always said that. You know, we'd have sex on this bed, and now I'm laying here alone.
Yep. Pretty much. It's basically Driver's License, except just a lot more weird.
Yeah, she's 18 now. She's 18, 19 now, so she's like, I'm edgy.
Yeah.
Kind of like how it's kind of how Billy went. So.
Yeah.
But Billy was edgy before that, but she didn't talk about sex.
Actually, I would say that Billy's stuff actually got a little more mature after she was 18. Like, I'd say Happier Than Ever as a whole has more of a mature sound than When We All Fall Asleep.
Yeah, I meant more in like a sexy way.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, in terms of sexy.
Like her first album had a couple things like My Strange Addiction and like stuff like Bad Guy had a couple moments on it that was like, but you know, she got really into like the I fuck after she
yeah. But yeah, she's definitely still in her edgy teen era right now. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I liked Sour, so I may still. I mean, I like Vampire as well. Like I don't love it, but like the chorus is really good on that song. So I don't know. I'll still obviously tune in and see what happens, but I may be a little more excited for her next project where it's a little more on the mature side. But you know, we'll see what happens when it happens. Like you said, this could be a pet cheetah. Well, you never said this. It could be a pet cheetah incident.
It could be.
Which could you explain to the audience what a pet cheetah incident is?
The pet cheetah incident was 2018.
Of course. AKA the Jason Statham incident of 2018. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the Meg actually, but
yeah.
It was when the track list for Trench by 21 Pilots was leaked or like at least came out. There was the song Pet Cheetah was on the track list, and I went, that's a real stupid name for a song. And then you were like, well, who knows? You could be dissing the biggest banger of the album. And then it came out, and it was quite a banger. It's a fucking great song. So, you know, a Ballad of a Teenage Girl or a Ballad of a Homeschool Girl might just be that.
Well, that would be interesting if a ballad was a banger, but you know, it could happen. It could happen.
Yeah, I mean, hey, fucking, what was I made for is a ballad, and that's a banger.
True.
So, who knows? Maybe O-Rod's got it in her to make that really awfully named song a banger.
Yeah. Yeah. But let's just hope we don't have another Star Spangled Banger on our hands. Am I right?
Oh, God. What do you mean? What do you mean you don't want another one of those on your hands?
That's true. We could use more of those.
You know, that's our national anthem now, and I couldn't even tell you what it sounds like.
We are electric king.
We are the free. Over the free.
I was trying to think of it myself, and it came to me.
God, I have not listened to that album since it came out.
Yeah, I think I listened to it like 3 or 4 times when it came out, and then
yeah. I mean, hey, Viva Las Vegas is a banger.
Agreed.
Rip Panic at the Disco.
Yeah.
In other world news, Trump got indicted again. That was funny.
Yeah. Classic.
Pretty fucking silly. That silly guy caused a riot at the Capitol. And now he's being indicted for it, and that's pretty fucking funny. I saw somebody who was like, so he's being indicted on like 78 counts of something, and the max number of years he can get for that is 641 years.
Oh my god.
You know, that's funny. Praying to Killian that he gets fucking sent to prison or something, or at least fucking barred from running for president again. Did you see that whole riot that that Twitch streamer made happen in New York?
Yeah, that's something that we if we recorded on Friday, we wouldn't have had a chance to talk about. So thank God we're recording Sunday. But yeah, I did hear about that. But go ahead and explain that.
So Kai Cenat, he's like a big Twitch streamer right now. I've seen clips of him and stuff. I saw a clip where he hit on a 16-year-old on accident.
Oh, great one. Classic.
Yeah. Hilarious. Fucking hit on her, asked her age, and then she said 16, and he fucking Jim from The Office into the camera.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Yeah, but he posted on like socials and shit that he was gonna do like a giveaway of like PS5s and gift cards and shit at Union Park or whatever in
I think
New York.
Square, yeah.
Union Square. And then fucking he's got like 100 million subscribers or something like that, or followers or something like, or maybe not 100 million, maybe like 1 million subscribers or something like that on Twitch.
There's a little bit of a difference there, but yeah. It's a lot. He's like the biggest streamer right now.
He's a big boy, and you know, he didn't get clear with anybody. He just, or like the city or anything. He didn't get anything reserved, and you know, thousands of people showed up. Bunch of kids, bunch of, you know, people looking to get a free PlayStation or gift cards or shit, and it just caused a fucking riot in the streets.
Yeah, a bunch of mob mentality started breaking out.
Yeah, there was like he got out of the car, and I saw like an overhead shot of people just like rushing towards him. I was like, holy. But that happened, and then like he got either arrested or escorted out by cops, and then like cops were like not handling the situation well at all. They smashed some kid's head through the window of a bus.
Oh, I didn't hear about that one. Yeah,
pretty fucked. You know, cops doing cop things, being cunts. But yeah, that happened. that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, the way you just capped off that story. That was pretty funny. But yeah, I think I saw that he like is facing up to 3 years in prison potentially.
Holy shit.
We'll see what happens there.
It'll actually happen. So
yeah,
he'll have to like make a Travis Scott apology or something.
Just rubbing his head the whole time, yeah.
Black and white Instagram. Yeah.
I forgot that was in black and white. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah. And then earlier, like late last week into the beginning of the week, there was a whole super mega drama, which was upsetting. Fucking, they were accused of like a lot of awful things like racism, homophobia. They didn't stand with their friend who got sexually assaulted by their old thumbnail artist. Which, you know, Matt and Ryan put out their statements on Monday morning, and they cleared up some things. They didn't deny anything that was correct. They explained what happened, their side of things. They had a lot of evidence and everything. Sounds like Ryan's going to be leaving the channel, which really fucking sucks. I don't know if that's the end of Super Mega as a whole, but yeah, it kind of just blows because I've followed the channel since they started, and even before that when they were like editing for Markiplier.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of blows, but that happened.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're definitely a group that you were a little more attached to than I was, but
Mm-hmm.
I still there was a lot of stuff that I saw them in that I liked them a lot. In like Epic SMP, there was a lot of
Oh yeah,
great clips from there and
yeah.
stuff.
This Saddam Hussein bit was really funny.
Oh god,
Uh,
yeah, that was a really good one. Um,
oh,
but yeah, you know, it's I started watching a little bit more, looking into because the last time we talked about this, definitely not when we were recording, a different time.
oh no,
I had only seen the allegations portion, and it was before they had released their statements.
yeah.
And now I've watched like some of the statements, so I'm a little more up to date with like some of
Yeah.
the. I still have to finish hearing the rebuttals and all that or whatever, but
Oh,
still, yeah, it's still unfortunate, but yeah.
unfortunate. But I'm just glad that they weren't the perpetrators of the assault itself, and
Right.
two, they aren't actually racist and homophobic. Um, but yeah, that blew a little bit. And then also this week, all the celebrities died. That was weird.
Yeah.
Fucking Paul Rubens, who was Pee Wee Herman, died on Monday
Mm-hmm.
of cancer, I think it was, and he didn't let fans or anybody know what he was going through, so it was like a big surprise for a bunch of people, and a lot of people in the comedy world were real upset this week.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really watch
I don't think
any
I
Pee
ever watched any Pee Wee Herman, but you know, still.
I still get some references and stuff like that kind of shit.
I don't even get that one, to be honest.
Oh no, he just made weird fucking noises,
Mm.
and I saw some clips of he hosted SNL as Pee Wee Herman one time, and probably was real fucking funny when it came out, but I was like, I mean, I get it, but it's just,
Hasn't aged well.
nah, not really.
Yeah.
He also made the Tequila song pretty big. I think he was the person who made that song big.
Really?
Yeah, because he does this whole bit where he puts on real big shoes and he does a little stupid dance.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I think that is kind of what memeified that song back in the day.
Hmm.
But yeah, that happened, and then the guy who played Fez, Angus Cloud on Euphoria, died on Monday as well. I think it was a drug overdose. I think his mom said it wasn't a suicide, but I don't know if that's confirmed or anything. But I believe it was a drug overdose.
Mm-hmm.
He real unfortunate. All the Euphoria cast was posting their memories and stuff of him, and he was really great too. That was his first it was his first acting job.
Yeah.
He was going to a fucking art school to be a light technician on movies and TV shows and shit, and then somebody from HBO was like, you should be on the show, and he thought it was fake at first, but then
That does sound a little fake, but yeah.
yeah. But then it ended up being his break, and he was real great. He was one of the best characters on the show. He had a real big moment at the end of the season. It sucks that we won't get to see anything with him in the future, but yeah, he real unfortunate there. Real young, 25, I think. But yeah, that happened, and then the other day, I think it was Friday.
Yeah, it was Friday.
Yeah, you want to tell him who passed that day, Mike?
Yeah, Tio from Breaking Bad. You know, Hector Salamanca, actual name Mark Margolis. Yeah, he passed away as well. I'm guessing probably just from natural causes, old age.
So,
But you know, that one's sad too, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he's the first of the main Breaking Bad cast to go.
yeah,
So that definitely is sad. He had the best facial expressions.
he really did.
Yeah,
He could really ring that bell.
he really could. He was the bomb. But yeah, he played a really good asshole.
He really did.
Yeah, Fantastic actor. I think he was in like a lot of like, or maybe not a lot, but was he in like Scarface or something like that?
Yeah, I saw a picture of him in a car with Al Pacino and Scarface.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was a
Because I remember there was a meme because the whole thing that Vince Gilligan always says is turning Mr. Chips into Scarface. This whole concept of Breaking Bad.
uh,
And there's literally a scene where they watch Scarface at one point. Like Walter watches it with Walter Jr.
uh-huh.
And there's always the meme of like, what was Walt thinking when Hector Salamanca showed up in, in Scarface? um,
Yeah, he
but
was also he was also in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Jim
was he?
Carrey. Yeah, he was like the landlord at Ace Ventura's fucking
What?
apartment complex.
For some reason, I remember that. What?
Oh, really?
I don't like remember anything about that movie. I watched it when I was young, but for some reason I do remember him being that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a clip of it. I was like, hey, look at that.
Huh.
But yeah, that was real sad to hear.
Yeah.
All the fucking Breaking Bad cast were like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's sad.
But yeah, apparently he was on Bryan Cranston's other show, Your Honor, as well,
Oh,
which I
was it?
didn't know. Yeah, Brian. He posted on Instagram. He was like, he was great to work with, both in Your Honor and Breaking Bad. I was like, what? I really got to watch Your Honor
Yeah.
all the way through. But again, that's one. I think I've talked about it on the podcast, but like I tried watching it, and just the first episode gave me like crazy anxiety for some reason. So.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
But yeah, unfortunate. Mark Margolis, rest in peace, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And to the others as well, Angus Cloud and Paul Ruben. But yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's all the real news I got. But we didn't do our monthly roundup.
Yeah. Well, also real quickly, I just wanted to mention in music news that this is definitely not my second time forgetting this. But in music news, the guys of Injury Reserve, they were
What?
yeah, they were a hip hop trio. They made By the Time I Get to Phoenix a couple years ago now, I think. Yeah, that wasn't last year. That was 2 years ago. And that's the only album I've heard from them, but I absolutely love that album. It's really like apocalyptic sounding, but also the main thing around it was one of their members, one of their lead like rappers that they had passed away. I don't think they ever revealed the cause of death, but he had passed away, and so like that whole record was haunted by death and just kind of sounded ghostly and everything. It was a really interesting project, but like one of the most unique things I heard that year. But anyways, a little while ago they revealed that they would be continuing on as a duo under a different name called By Storm, which is the same name as the final song on By the Time I Get to Phoenix. And they released their first song. Oh gosh, I should have prepped this a little bit. They released their first song recently called Double Trio, under that name. And from what I remember, it's a really interesting song. Like it's got that same like ghostly feel, but it also is like kind of like dancey and like kind of like glossy a little bit. It's a really interesting vibe, but it's a really good track. I liked it a lot, so I'm interested to see what more they do, and I need to just check out more Injury Reserve in general. But yeah,
Sure.
also want to shout out to that.
Yeah, I need to actually check out By the Time I Get to Phoenix all the way through.
Yeah,
because I've started that shit like 5 different times, but never finished it.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like Knees, so
yeah, Knees is a fantastic song. There's a few really good songs on there, but
yeah. And plus, fucking amazing album art as well.
Oh yeah, I think that won our favorite album art of that year on the BrokeN. Yeah,
the first Brokey,
the first annual Brokey
for album art.
Yeah,
Best album art.
But yeah,
Very cool.
we can do an album art real quick. We're already at a
album art.
we can do a quick monthly roundup real quick. But yeah, we're already kind of at time, but we can obviously keep going, just so you know where we are time wise. But yeah, the first thing I listened to in the week of July, the month of July, was Discovery. Was Discovery by Daft Punk. Really good dancey record. It's not my usual genre, but there's so many classics on there, from Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger to One More Time to oh my gosh, the love song that I had as my song of the week. Thank you. Digital Love. It's like those bangers are on there, but the whole thing just has this really nice, pristine sound to it. It's just all nice and catchy, nice and flows well together.
Of course.
It's a really good time. I could see why people could see it as a classic. For me, just because I'm a little bit out of the realm of it, I don't love it as much, but like it's still really good, really pleasant to listen to. I think awesome. I'd give it like a decent 8 or so.
Sick. What was the first thing I listened to this week? Or this month? Fuck. Oh, it was Purple Rain by Prince. Mm-hmm. Fucking, I listened to it because of Mike the Snare's artist analysis on or Deep Discog Dive, so sorry. Yep.
How could you get those two confused?
I have no fucking idea. Different letters, really.
Yeah.
And that's not the only difference between. But yeah, really great album. It's a classic for a reason. Fucking Prince was extremely fucking talented. His guitar skills were immaculate, and I love the production on a lot of the album. I haven't returned to it since, but it's really fucking good. I really liked When Doves Cry, Purple Rain, and what was that? There was another song on there. Let me check real quick. It was like a dirty song. Oh. It was kind of like a little sexy little song, I think. Darling Nikki. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was big into the fucking like kind of risque songs. He was the first, from what Mike the Snare said, he was the first fucking parental advisory person. So, yeah, really good album. I'd probably give it like a late 8 as of right now. So.
Nice. Nice. All right. Well, next thing I listened to, keeping in line with all the classics we're talking about, was Ever Since by Blade. It's well, it's my first exposure to Blade. I listened to it as a part of I'm doing a thing where I listen to all of the Hive Mind fans' favorite albums, because there was a video that they did of their fans' favorite albums. And I'm still going to continue with that. But I decided for the new ones I listened to. Actually, Discovery was part of that too. I forgot that's the reason I listened to Discovery. But I decided to do Blade, and I didn't really like it.
What?
Yeah, it's got a nice like spacey, icy vibe to it. Like it has a really unique vibe on the production end of things. And I can appreciate that about it, but I just really hate his vocals on it. The vocals sound terrible with the autotune. They're just whiny and moany with autotune over them. Sometimes the autotune's not even in tune with the song, which, sure, maybe stylistic choice, but and the lyrics, I mean, they don't make up for anything. Those are not great either. It just, people like this, but it's really not for me. And I think I gave it like a decent 4, or like a strong 4 or something like that. Yeah.
Good scathing review from Mr. Plaintiff Piano here.
Do better. Apply yourself.
Yeah. See, you would be a bad educator. See.
Yeah.
You're just like our high school band instructor.
I guess so. Yeah, maybe I should take after him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
Ram that stick right up your ass, Mike.
Yep. Don't mind if I do. All right.
The next thing I listened to was the Beatles discography. At least the first few albums, which I hadn't heard before. It's the Beatles. You have a whole fucking artist analysis on them. Mm-hmm. So if you want to hear deep thoughts on them, you can go check that out. on our last episode of Artist Analysis last month. It was good stuff. Not like not my era of the Beatles that I really love, but there was some good stuff like this Twist and Shout and 8 Days a Week and Hard Day's Night. Pretty good songs. Didn't like Little Girl very much.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I'd still give them a light to decent 8. I think is what I said. Yeah, great band.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And similarly, I also listened to another classic. I did Ice Dancer by Blade.
Oh.
I decided to give myself a little bit of a Blade double feature. And this one, it was slightly better. I still didn't like it, but it was slightly better. It had that same vibe, same cool vibe to it, but the vocals were slightly more tolerable on here. And there was one song that I actually liked called "Be Nice to Me." I thought that was a decent little banger. And that's his most streamed. Well, it's his most popular song on Spotify right now. So,
of course,
kind of says something. But I thought it was a pretty good song. But the rest of the album, the vocals still aren't great, but they're a little more tolerable, and the vibe is still cool. So it's better, but I think I'd still give it like a strong 5 or so.
So what? You're not a part of the drain game, Mike?
I mean, I drain all the time.
How do you?
As we speak,
Are you draining right now? Well, we can't.
I mean, cannot confirm nor deny, like legally, but yeah.
Oh well, that sounds concerning, but I'll trust you on that one.
It is a little bit of a medical issue, but what is your what's your next album?
Yeah, I guess we'll move on to that from that. My next album I listened to was Austin by Post Malone.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy this album. I think it's definitely his best in the last few years. Definitely his best since Beer Bongs and Bentleys. He's got really great vocals on it. I really like the guitar. The way it leans more towards the rock than his foundations
Dwayne
and
Johnson?
rap. Yes.
Yeah.
You can really smell it on the album.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really fucking like this album. I think it's fun. It's a little bloated at times. Like the middle, it's 17 songs in an hour, so there's quite a bit to pay attention to. But when it's good, it's really good, and I have a great time with it when I'm re-listening to it. The pop songs are pretty good. There's a couple moments where they're a little cringe, a little not as fun, like Morning. I didn't like that one very much. The chorus on that one kind of blew ass, but I like Chemical, and that was, I think that was the lead single on it. So yeah, as it stands right now, I'd probably give it like a solid 8 myself. So
nice. Yeah. Next thing I listened to, more classics, but for real this time, the Beatles discography. Similar to what Colin said, we did a whole episode on this, but brief thoughts on it. I had only listened to Abbey Road and Sgt. Pepper's, I actually listened to, I guess Let It Be as well. I'd only listened to those 3. And then I briefly listened to the first ones a long time ago, but that doesn't really count. But yeah, my first exposure to Revolver, Magical Mystery Tour, Rubber Soul, the White Album, a whole bunch of stuff that I was missing on all those projects. And,
right.
They're considered one of the greatest of all time for a reason. That last streak of albums that they have is just like quite literally insane. And especially since they did that in like those last 4 and like, or those last few albums in like 4 years or so. I don't know.
Right.
it's actually kind of insane. But including Yellow Submarine, I'm gonna lump that one in there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, classics for a reason. If you want more thoughts, go check out the episode. But my highlights were Rubber Soul, Revolver, Abbey Road, and Sergeant Pepper's, and I guess Magical Mystery Tour we'll throw in there too.
Yeah.
A lot of really good stuff in there. Oh, and I think I gave him like a decent to strong 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Last thing I listened to this month was Utopia by Travis Scott. Fuck him as a person, but he makes some pretty good music, at least from what I heard on this album. There was a lot of hype behind it, of course, and I was like, I probably won't listen to it, but then it dropped, and I saw that everyone was like, oh my god, it's fucking amazing. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll check it out. And yeah, I enjoyed my time with it. I think it's pretty good. It's got some real good production behind it, and his verses are pretty good. There's a couple cringe moments on this one as well. A couple of moments I'm not huge on, but yeah, I don't know. I think I've only listened to it once all the way through. But I really like the opener. I forget how it looks like hyena, but it's kind of spelled wrong.
Yeah, it's like hyena.
Yeah. And then I like that one. I liked Love, I think, with like the 3 O's or whatever, and then I liked K-pop. I don't know. A lot of people were not liking that one when it came out because it was like the leading single for it the week it came out. But I was like, I kind of liked it for some reason. The features were good. The Weeknd was good on it. But yeah, as it stands right now, with my only one all the way through listen, I'd probably give it like a light to decent 7.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yep. And the last thing that I listened to was Austin by Post Malone. Similar to Colin, I do think this is his best project in a while. I don't quite love it to the same level, mostly because, I'm a nerd and like the mixing got a little bit to me. But it does sound better in a car. I can give it that now. But I still think the songs themselves are some of the strongest he's released since Beer Bongs. Songs like Something Real. I absolutely love that track. That track is great. I also really love Green Thumb, and even though Fantano gave this album a 3, which,
yeah, a little ridiculous.
Definitely one of his more ridiculous ones, in my opinion. But even though he gave it a 3, he did put Green Thumb in his favorite tracks, and I was like, okay, at least Fantano agrees with me on that one, because I don't see that one getting as much love as I think it should. But no. Those two are really good, and there's a few songs on here that just have really solid choruses, and you can just tell that Post Malone's having a lot more fun recording this album than he is, Hollywood's Bleeding and the other one that I can't even think of the name of, 12 Karat Toothache. Yeah, those, it sounds so much better than those forgettable albums. I do want to see him keep going in that rock direction in the future, just maybe with some new producers, maybe with some different lyrics as well, but there's some fun moments on there. Yeah, overall, I'd probably give it like a strong 6. I think it's a good step in the right direction. Some really good stuff on there, but like you said, really bloated. A lot of the middle does like nothing for me.
Yeah,
it starts and ends pretty well though. So
yeah.
But yeah. Alrighty. Well,
right.
If we want, we can get into Song of the Week real quick.
For sure.
I didn't really listen to much new this week because I didn't really have too much time to do so. So yeah, my most recent songs are Post Malone and the Beatles. So, but so I'll go a little bit further back to one that I didn't get to choose the week that it came out, and I will go Well by Jacob Collier.
All right.
I think I really will.
All right, that was Well by Jacob Collier. What did you think of that, Colin?
That was pretty good. I think you had a Jacob Collier song first song of the week like a long time ago, and I don't remember that one at all. But I can guarantee it didn't sound like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it had some cool vibes to it. I thought there were a couple of moments where it sounded like 1975-ish. I thought the chorus...
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, keep going.
I like the chorus quite a bit. I like the guitars. I think he sounds great on it. I don't know much about Jacob Collier other than what I've heard from you, but yeah, I think this is pretty cool.
Yeah, you're right. It does have a little bit of like those 90s Britpop feelings that 1975 likes to play into as well. I could definitely see that for sure. But yeah. I mean, I don't like love this song. I think it's pretty good. There's some moments that get a little Jacob Collier-y in a derogatory way. For me personally, I have very complex feelings at Jacob Collier, but I do think this song is pretty good. I really love the "I think I'm treating you well," like the harmonies on the well that he actually sings are like, I don't know. I think they're just really addictive to me. I have been stuck in my head since they came out. But it's a pretty decent song. I do enjoy it. So yeah, what do you got for us this week? I have no idea.
Yeah, it's fucking fine. No, I listened to Kid A this week, and I quite enjoyed it. The song that I liked the most, you already picked a good while ago. I think it was like fucking Christmas time.
I think it was during our 10 out of 10 songs, like perfect songs. I think that's the one I chose.
Yeah. That's right. I love that song. We already picked it. So in close proximity to it, in my liked a lot from this album, I'm gonna go with Morning Bell.
Ooh.
By Radiohead.
I can see why you're my friend.
Yeah. All right. Morning Bell. All right, that was Morning Bell by Radiohead. What do you think, Mike?
Like I said right before the break, I could see why we're friends, because How to Disappear Completely and Morning Bell are my top two on that album as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, I could probably go on for a long time about Morning Bell, so I'm just gonna keep it kind of brief. I really love Tom's vocals on this track. I really love the production and how it just kind of swells and strips itself back like really quickly. And just like the overall vibe of it has that like haunting feeling that you were talking about earlier. It's just, I don't know. It's such a uniquely vibed song that it's just hypnotizing to me. I love it.
Yeah, it's, I completely agree. I think it's like, I think Tom sounds fucking great on it. I think the production's super cool. The guitar work on it's great. It's just super haunting, real like ethereal feeling. But I feel like in general, from what I've heard from Radiohead, that's kind of just how that could like those are describing words for the band as a whole. I feel,
especially their electronic stuff. Yeah, I can get into that really haunting feeling for sure.
Yeah, it just feels like cold because of the electronics and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like that song, and I really like the album. I'm gonna need a couple more listens to really digest my feelings on it. But really great.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, you got anything else for us today?
Don't think so. I think I forgot to mention that the Front Bottoms released an album on Friday.
Oh yeah.
So I might check that out before next week, but I don't have any thoughts on it right now. So I'll get back to you on that.
Alrighty.
But yeah, that's anything to say, Killian?
Oh yeah.
No, he's still a little Mike shy here.
Oh, he's shy of me.
Yeah, he heard that you watched all of Peaky Blinders and didn't love every minute of it, so he got a little butthurt.
Damn.
But maybe.
Can you tell him like that he was my favorite part of it by far though?
Yeah, he can hear you. He shed a little tear there.
Oh, that was pretty quick. Wow.
Yeah,
He processes his
he's
emotions really fast.
I mean, hey, he's an actor.
I guess so.
You know, you got to be on your toes.
Yeah.
He also hasn't blinked. He's just been staring at me with his piercing blue eyes for the whole hour and a half.
He's just been doing the Oppenheimer stare for.
He's looking at me like he looked at Gene, and I'm not very comfortable.
Oh man.
But also, I'm kind of comfortable with it. You know, I would love for him to say his line when you know we're banging.
Say the line. Say the line.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me you will become death. Come on, do it. Yeah, but maybe next week.
Maybe next week. I don't think Robbie has reached out to me this whole time either. So actually, in fact, I think they stopped the shoe making line. So
yeah, you might need to get the Ouija board out for that one.
That's true. Maybe next week for that one as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'll do a visual bit on our audio podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. Bringing it back.
Yeah, full circle. But okay, well, if you're listening to us on streaming services, thank you very much. We really appreciate that. Yeah, we love you a lot. Love you lots. But if you want to come see our beautiful profile pictures of Killian on Hot Ones, careful around your eyes, Killian, and Mr. Howard Hamlin pre season 6.
Well, episode 7?
You know, maybe something like that. You can come on and see those beautiful green squares around so you can tell who's talking. You can see those green squares around us over on YouTube.
I find it fun to watch. Maybe you will too. Who knows?
That's true. Yeah, you can come see that over on YouTube or under the same name, Broken Boys, capital N, BOYS. But also over there, you can get a whole bunch of more like content from us that you can see. So you can go to our Song of the Week playlist, where we got one for me, we got one for Colin, we got one for both of our guests combined, and yeah, if you want to go find the songs we just talked about, or Morning Bell, that's right, Morning Bell, yeah. I don't know why they didn't spell Bell like that on the album.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, if you want to go check out either, or if you want to hear those songs along with countless others, I mean, I guess you can count them. The playlist does it for you. But there's so much songs in there to find, so much variety. You can go from Chris. What was that?
Last time I checked, it was like 18 hours almost. So
yeah, that sounds about right. You can find everything from Christmas to Death Grips to some 100 Gex to I don't know, Billie Eilish piano ballads probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all in there. There's so much. I think Nick brought on was it Japanese? Something.
You also had a Japanese song though, didn't you?
I did have a Japanese song at one time. Yeah, that's right. So there's really a lot of variety in there.
I just triggered Killian by saying Japanese. I'm sorry.
Did the Oppenheimer stare turn like angry?
Yeah, he had 1,000-yard stare, and then he kind of like started real staring at me. So
I didn't know Killian was such a method actor.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah.
Yeah.
He only. This is true, by the way. On set, he only went by Robert.
Oh.
He only fucking responded to people who called him like Dr. Oppenheimer or Oppie or Robert.
I'm sure Robert Downey Jr. loved that.
Oh yeah.
No confusion.
Well, you know, whenever RG Day's on set, he only goes by Iron Man. So.
Oh okay. Yeah. That was his code name. He just goes by Tony anywhere he goes.
Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, we got that. We also got some links to our personal stuff. So for me, I got music on Spotify and Apple Music and anywhere you can find music under the name Plaintive. Got an album out called Coping Mechanism. You can go check that out. Briefly mentioned it earlier about the album art. But
sure did.
You can go check that out.
Yeah.
Little plug.
Go check that out, bitches. It's a fucking fantastic album.
Yeah. Or else
Like a great goddamn artist.
Yeah, go check it out, or else Colin's gonna find your Horcrux.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
stick Killian on you.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, go check those out. I also have an Instagram link down there. I've got an album of the year page where I rate and review music. You can go check out all those stuff. I like to keep things up to date over there. What else do I have? I have my YouTube page where I am planning on doing some guitar stuff soon. It will happen at some point. I've just been meaning to get it all set up and all practice and everything, but it will happen. Yeah. And I'm also right behind you, but in like a virtual way. I'm like in a Zoom call with you. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna like raise your hand to ask a question, or?
I may.
Do you have your camera on, or is it off?
My camera is off, but your camera is on. Or sorry, my camera. No, okay. Scratch that. My camera is on, but my background is the back of your head. You, dear listener. Yeah.
Yes, dear listener. Audio listeners.
Exactly. And I may not raise my hand, but I may do like this. Do something like that.
See, in my dream, I didn't hear that at all.
Right.
I just heard garbled bullshit, and also your mic was real bad in my dream as well.
Oh, did that actually? Did that not come through in your dream?
No, it was like garbled nonsense.
I did not know that. That's awesome.
It kind of just had like paper crinkling or something.
That's so great. Yeah, I'm behind you virtually. And Colin over there though, he's got some stuff as well. First off, he runs our Twitter and he runs our TikTok page, so you can go follow those to get any updates, some funny clips every now and then. He's got some good stuff over there, but he's also got some good stuff on his album of the year page where he rates and reviews music. His Instagram page where he did rate and review music. If you want to do some archaeologic digging, or his letterbox where he rates and reviews movies.
Yeah. We did that.
What's that?
I've been slowly over the past couple of days writing in my Beatles stuff for the artist analysis.
Nice.
But yeah, it's taken a bit because I don't have the patience for it.
Yep.
But
there's a lot of those.
It'll be yes.
Yeah.
It'll be there.
Yeah, go check out all those. He's also in front of you. What relative vicinity are you to them?
I mean, well, if you're gonna do the whole virtual Zoom thing, I figure I'd like get in on that with you, kind of, but like in their personal like space, kind of. I'm like 6 feet in front. 6 feet, social distance. I have a mask on. I know what Damask is.
Do you know what the point of the mask is?
I know that the capital of Syria is Damascus.
That is true. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm social distancing, but I'm right in front of you, 6 feet.
Nice. Yeah, and I think that's all we got in the description, right? I think so. But what we're gonna do is, we're gonna, since you're a dear viewer, listener of ours, we're gonna grant you the privilege of a love cage. So, virtually, I'm going to like come out of your screen like a 90s movie or something, like stretch out of your screen.
Yeah, like the Ring.
Yeah, something like that, but a little less scary than the Ring.
Oh.
I would hope so, but maybe it's just the same. I don't know. I'm gonna kind of reach out of your little Zoom call, and then Colin's gonna slowly strip off his mask and walk towards you, and the two of us are gonna embrace around you with you in the middle, and then just make out next to your ear.
Real sloppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you won't really notice it at first, but while we're making out, you kind of want to get away from it a little bit. You're gonna look to your left, and all you're gonna see are Killian's piercing blue eyes.
Yeah.
Because he goes everywhere with.
Mm-hmm.
But you might want to look.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
I was sorry. There's a slight delay. I was just gonna say they're gonna stare into your soul and like petrify you, but make you stay.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to like fight between whether you want to look at us sloppily making out right next to your head or Killian just terrifying you next to you. So choose wisely.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want a love cage, all you got to do is drop your address down in the comments below, and we'll find you. You won't know when or where, but we'll get to you.
Yep.
And it'll be exactly what you wanted.
Absolutely, everything you wanted, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
By Billie Eilish.
Yep. But yeah, that's about all I've got for this.
Yeah. Oh God, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
You okay?
Yep. We'll see you next week, where I hopefully remember to record the audio for the podcast.
Yes.
All right, bye.
I love you.